Question 2 from the AddMaths paper 2008. A has the coordinate 0, 8, B has the coordinate 6, 0, and in part 1 we need to find the equation of the line AB. Straight line equation, y equals mx plus c, where m is the gradient. Formula for the gradient is the change in the y coordinates over the change in the x coordinates. You can swap the 2's and the 1's around, it doesn't matter. So here y1 means the y coordinate of the first point, so that's 8. y2 is the y coordinate of the second point, that's 0. x1 is the x coordinate of the first point, x2 is the x coordinate of the second point. So I have 8 divided by minus 6, or minus 4/3. Minus 4/3 is the gradient of the line. So we can now substitute that into the y equals mx plus c. Y equals mx plus c. To find the c, you can use either of these 2 points. I'll use the b for now, it doesn't really matter. So if I use point B, which is 6, 0, I have y, well that's the y value, 0, is minus 4/3 times by x, which is 6 at point B, plus c. So I've got 0 is minus 24 over 3, plus c, minus 24 over c is minus 8. So what do I add to minus 8 to get 0? 8. C must be equal to 8. So my straight line equation is y is minus 4/3 x plus 8. You could leave it as that. Sometimes you'll get things multiplied by 3 to get rid of any fractions. So whilst that answer there is quite acceptable, if you multiplied everything by 3, you'd get 3y equals minus 4x plus 24. Sometimes they don't like these minus signs. That could be shifted to the other side of the equals. 4x plus 3y equals 24. All exactly the same. Doesn't really matter which way you write it. So that's part 1. Part 2. You have to find the equation of the line perpendicular to AB through its midpoint. So let's write down A and B. Okay. The formula we got for the midpoint before is you add the 2 x values together and divide by 2, and you add the 2 y values together and divide by 2. You're basically averaging those. So that's going to be 0 and 6 divided by 2, which is 3, and 8 and 0 divided by 2, which is 4. So the midpoint is 3, 4. So we've got a point it's going through. Perpendicular means it's got a gradient at right angles to the previous gradient. Now the gradient we had earlier on was minus 4/3. So we need a gradient which is perpendicular to minus 4/3. Remember, to find a perpendicular gradient, if you've got a fraction you turn it upside down. You've also got to change its sign. So the new gradient we're going to use is 3/4. So we've got y equals mx plus c. We've got m, the gradient of this line is 3/4. And we know from up here, this line goes through the point 3, 4. That's an x number, that's a y number. Substitute those in. Y is 3/4 of x plus c. 3/4 of 3 times the tops, it's 9 divided by 4. So 4, take the 9/4 away, positive that side, negative this side. Okay, that is the same as 2 1/4. 4 goes into 9 2 times with 1 left over. And 4 take away 2 1/4 is 1 3/4, or 7 over 4. So that's what c will be. So up here I can now put the c in. I get y equals 3/4 x plus 7 over 4. That's the correct answer. If you want to write it down without the fractions, you can times everything there by 4. Y times by 4, 3/4 x times by 4, and 7 over 4 times by 4. That's a nicer way of writing the answer, but the other one was absolutely fine.